a child holding his mother's hand. But she is no longer alive. A father digging through rubble, searching for his son. A baby cries under the dust, but there is no one left to lift her. The call for help fades into silence because no help ever comes. And in one night, entire families turn into names written on stone. This is the face of Hamas-Israel conflict, a war where every bomb destroys not just buildings but whole generations. But how did ordinary people in Gaza turn into fighters? The answer lies in decades of pain. Hamas was born in Gaza in 1987. For Palestinians, it is not just a political group, it was a voice that rose when no one else spoke for them. Israel calls Hamas a terrorist group, but many in Gaza see it as the only shield they have. Because when your land is taken, your family broken, your cries unheard, sometimes the only answer left is resistance. But why did so many ordinary men pick up guns? To understand that, we must see how Gaza lives every single day. For years, Gaza has lived under blockade, borders sealed, supplies cut, travel denied. Clean water is rare, jobs are few, hope is almost gone. Children grow up surrounded by checkpoints and rubble, instead of schools and playgrounds. When you live in a cage, and that cage keeps shrinking, fear turns into anger, and that anger turns shopkeepers, teachers, even students into fighters. But Gaza's pain is not just about blockades. It goes back to a decision made far away inside the United Nations. In 1947, the United Nations drew a map, one state for Israel, one for Palestine. Israel accepted, but Palestinians felt betrayed. How can outsiders divide the land of your ancestors and call it peace? Hamas has always rejected this two-state idea. They say, this land is one. It cannot be divided. But when the UN turned deaf to their voice, the message to Palestinians was clear. No one will fight for you except you. And so fathers, brothers, sons who dreamed of normal lives picked up arms. Not because they wanted war, but because they believed it was the only way to protect their families, their race, their home. And that is why, no matter how many decisions are made in global halls, the real battle is still fought in the streets of Gaza. In this war, Israel shows its strength, but Gaza shows its scars. Scars of mothers holding empty clothes of children they will never see again. scars of fathers digging graves instead of building homes, and scars of children who no longer dream of toys but only of survival. The world debates, the UN passes resolutions. But for people in Gaza, nothing changes. And maybe the real question is not why Hamas fights, but how many more lives must be lost before the world finally listens. If you want to know about stories the world is not telling you, subscribe to ThinkTell, because you think and we tell.